Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been warning about trusting Iran's efforts to strengthen ties with the West, remarks Iran has condemned.
But a new round of tough sanctions set to take effect against the country's nuclear program could put a strain on diplomatic outreach. Caitlin Burke reports.
Congress is moving forward with tougher U.S. economic sanctions against Iran's nuclear program. In July, the House adopted legislation that increases penalties that went into effect last year. The penalties have cut Iran's petroleum exports in half. These new sanctions come after the first contact between U.S. and Iranian leaders in more than 30 years. But top Israeli officials aren't buying Iran's efforts to improve diplomacy with the West.
We remember what happened with North Korea. They spoke very nicely, but at the end they achieved the bomb. We cannot allow it to happen with Iran as well.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fought back against Iran's charm offensive at the United Nations Tuesday. He declared a nuclear Iran represented not only an existential threat to Israel, but also a clear and present danger to the United States and Western powers. He argued sanctions must be kept in place and issued a veiled threat of an Israeli military strike.
Ladies and gentlemen, Israel will never acquiesce to nuclear arms in the hands of a rogue regime that repeatedly promises to wipe us off the map. Against such a threat, Israel will have no choice but to defend itself.
A deputy ambassador to Iran's UN mission fired back at Israel, calling Netanyahu's remarks misleading and inflammatory.
I do not want to dignify such unfounded accusation with an answer other than categorically rejecting them all. He tried to mislead this august body about the Iranian nuclear program.
The tough new sanctions against Iran are expected to be finalized in November, giving the White House only a few weeks to see whether Iran has really changed course under President Rouhani. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.